'tis the season to be jolly. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 40th episode of Final. I'm Squeak and this big prick is Alan Jabby Gibson.
Christmas time. A time where Christians rip all other religions and say that they are the winning team. Don't you just love it that no one celebrates Jesus but Santa?
I think people care more about the family and friend gathering than religion these days. But let's move on to our Christmas predictions for UFC 108, Evans vs Silva.
First off we'd like to apologize for the time this show has been late getting up. This is due to the card not officially been confirmed about a few days. But nevertheless we are ready.
We first start off with the heavyweight bout between Junior Dos Santos and the debut of controversial MMA fighter Gilbert Evil. Dos Santos is coming off a huge win against Cro Cop and a win here will all but confirm his place in the top of the heavyweights. But Evil is just a monster and maybe Dos Santos' toughest fight to date.
It's quite clear what Dos Santos has to do. Do not fucking stand up with Evil. The guy is a knockout monster. Out of 36 wins, 31 have come from knockout. But he is very vulnerable on the ground as we saw with the Barnett fight. The biggest problem with Dos Santos is he's a knockout specialist too. Dos Santos will win if he gets the dominant position on the ground. But if he risks it with a stand-up war with Evil, then the Dutchman may just take it.
Next up is Jim Miller against the returning Duane Ludwig in the lightweight division. This is an interesting with both having good experience and impressive records. Ludwig needs a win to make a good start to his UFC return. Miller is on a very good run, but always seems to lose when it comes to big fights. This fight could very well go either way.
I think this will end the full 3 rounds, and I'm gonna take a guess here. Ludwig to win, because he has fought more experienced and better quality fighters, while Miller tends to struggle with big fights.
Up next is another lightweight fight between Joe Lawson and Sam Stout. I've always liked Lawson and seen him as one for the future. He's tenacious and got a great record overall, and in the UFC. Stout's going to be tough for him, and I do the winner here getting a big fight, maybe against the likes of Clay Guida or Diego Sanchez following his loss to BJ Penn.
Stout's weakness is consistency, which is something Lawson has. I see this as a Joe Lawson win here, by a stoppage maybe in the second round. I do agree though, that the winner's going to get a potential big fight.
We now move on to the sub-main event of the evening between Paul Daly and Dustin Hazlitt. I prefer this than the conflicted fight, because I see Hazlitt as another bright prospect, though my fellow Brit Daly has done good, and make an impressive debut in the UFC with his last fight. I see this being a great fight between two very good prospects.
This is good fight for both men as they're both in-betweeners in the welterweight division. They're not quite the top welterweights, but they ain't the lesser quality ones as well. I see this being very close fight, maybe even going the full distance, but again I'm going to take another wild guess here. I'm going to go for a Daly win.
You're actually supporting a Brit. I'm surprised.
Go fuck the Christmas turkey you stuff with your penis. This doesn't mean I've changed. You're still a queer and the queen is fucking pointless. I mean she doesn't do fucking anything.
Right you cunt. Now onto the main event between Rashad Evans and Thiago Silva. Both excellently gifted fighters, both with only one loss to their record, both can beat each other.
And it's such a shame for Silva, because as soon as White confirmed the winner gets Rampage, every fucker including us wants Evans to win. It's not because we doubt or dislike Thiago. It's just I mean come on, Evans versus Rampage is like the latest super fight that has to happen. It's like when you make out with an actual hot chick.
We really should analyze this fight, but we'd be lying cunts if we did it. We want Rampage and Evans to beat the fuck out of each other, and if beating Silva means it has to happen, then it's got to happen. I love Thiago Silva and his work ethic, he's a tough fighter through and through. But we can't miss out on Rampage versus Evans.
But I promise to any Silva fans that we will not be this bad for his next fight, as long as it doesn't prevent another must-see fight. But yes, the thought of Rashad winning and knocking out Rampage is just making me wet.
That is it for us today. We wish you all happy holidays and hope you get the presents you asked for. See you all later.